people are familiar with it, but it's just synonymous. They are So when we got there, those guys were hiding inside the mosque. The troops got there. The looker said, they are not there. They are not around.
Because of religion. Religion will let you blind yourself. What is it now?
We are not talking of religion now.
What is it now?
The issue there now is my person.
Okay.
It's not religion. That usually I was, you know how
religious sentiments.
You know how I came in when I was emphasizing on this issue of the God did know the people. So
nobody must.
And when they now left, the people were there. And the people who are coming, if they are going to attack, it's them they are going to attack.
Thank you. You're not even bothered about yourself.
No, they're not. So that's why I said. That's why I said all of us as stakeholders, when you go for patrol, getting to where they are the one that will raise that distress call. Getting to the place, they will misinform you. The people will go right, and they will tell us that they are gone left.
All right. So
you will now move to the left.
And then they let the other people on the right escape.
They will not escape.
Nigerians, you're hearing some things you are culpable of doing. So let's hold that thought right there and get our acts together. We'll be right back. Let's take this short break.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
it's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria.
And around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Take a look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Welcome back. It's still the press on KAFTAN Television. I'm MIKKY. I must tell you, our topic this morning is heightened insecurity in Nigeria. Nobody who is not affected
If you don't know somebody that knows somebody that knows another person that's been kidnapped, killed, or some village hit, at least you're hearing, even if just tuning your television and every day you're hearing this same recurrent pattern of news. So you must be feeling some sense of insecurity around you instead of you to feel safe. Now, I must tell you some of the statistics are alarming to the max. Nigeria ranks sixth for the latest 2025 Global Terrorism Index, that in all the countries on the globe called this earth, Nigeria is number 6. It's the 6th most dangerous country. It moved from 8th position in 2023 and 2024. Now 2025, it is now 6th. We are not getting better. As you can see, it's getting worse. Now, from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, we have here the estimated total internally displaced populace, IDPs, stands at 1,134,828. Now, we have 251,082 displaced households. That is complete houses, all these people. Borno State has recorded the highest number of displaced households. They have 206,753. That is as at the time of this report. As I'm speaking to you, just this week, there were renewed attacks. Over the weekend, renewed attacks in the same Borno State. Then you wonder, where are all these troops being marshaled to? If that place is a hotbed of activities, must we keep on talking of Borno State? Why are they always moving these soldiers and policemen and everything to follow the politicians around? More, in March 2025, an estimated 2,252,348 internally displaced persons, IDPs, were recorded in Nigeria. So this year, as you know, started 1st January. So from January 1 to now, March 25, we have over 2 million people displaced. So last night you were in your house, jejely, as we say in Nigeria. Today you are in an IDP camp. These are all people in a, you can see, you call that a camp because I don't even see any shelter over them. So if you were in your house yesterday, today you're out in the open air, nowhere to stay, queuing up to get some grains of food that you were organizing for yourself. You go into your kitchen, cook whatever you want to eat. Look at how people are suffering. The figure represents 71 whopping % of the total IDP population in the Lake Chad Basin area. So if there's so many IDPs in Lake Chad, 70-something % of them are from Nigeria. All right. These figures are nothing to sneeze at, nothing to be, you know, to look at as if nothing has happened. So, this is what we're seeing in Nigeria. You can see the faces of suffering Nigerians. What is so painful about these attacks? We've interviewed some of them live in this studio. It's a totally unprovoked attacks. So if for whatever reason you're sad about the inequalities, you're sad about the social situation in Nigeria, why would it be man against man? What could these poor villagers eking out a living? They live by their little subsistence farm. Are they the ones that are bringing the inequality? Your fellow struggling Nigerians, you don't have anything. So the little nothing that they have, you even take that nothing away from them. Now they're all out in the sun and in the air. Now, this rising insecurity, what we're looking at now, well, like you said, we know these are the causes. We have a general in the studio.
Now, it wasn't just General A or General B. Like I told you, we would bring you a general with a heart. He was the person in charge of the humanitarian section concerning that Operation Lafia Dole.
He lived in Maiduguri to look after those who had these issues. So we want to ask him this morning, General, my dear General, please, what are some short-term measures that, you know, will be effective, you know, that maybe be more far-reaching for some of these people? You know, already psychologically, you can imagine what it would mean for me to go to bed last night and wake up tomorrow, I don't have bed. Is it house? I don't have anything. Nothing. Minus that, then they've attacked and harmed me. We had people sitting where you are in this studio, their eyes gouged out, their right hand cut off. So make sure they're economically useless. and they cannot, return any no self-defense. If you dare defend yourself, there's a woman who said, oh, they were about to cut off her head, so she never lifted her hand to defend herself. They cut off the hand. So please, what are short-term measures that can help? I'd like the numbers up on the screen. It's just getting to that time, so you can call in and interact with the general. He's here to also take your questions himself. I mightn't be able to handle that. He's, like I told you, I'm doing less talking. He will do all the talking and the answering. Okay, those are the numbers up on the screen, right? So you can just hit your phone and call us. We're here for you. So, General, please tell us short-term measures based on, because you have traveled abroad. You have done a lot of studies on how to handle humanitarian aid in crisis situations, in displaced person situations and all that. Can you just tell us some of ways that would be effective currently? Because, these people are really suffering.
Like the issue of...
General, can I hold you right there on your thought? Let's just listen to this person. You're our first caller this morning. Very lucky caller.
Yeah, good morning, my sister. Good morning to your guest there.
Yes, he's General OLABODE, sir.
All right, I'm Sunday calling from Bauchi.
Oh, Sunday from Bauchi. Happy to have you as our first caller. Please go ahead.
Thank you, my sister.
Right, my brother.
I heard what the general said there. He said you cannot know my terrain, my area, more than, that is, I know my own terrain more than any other person. This book Haram started. What I want to really say is that the Borno people, the Medjugorje people know this because they are their people. They know everything about Boko Haram. Starting from the days of the Nepalimo the Sharif, down to Shetima, down to Zulu. They all know this people. The one piece very particular Boko Haram or his responsibility is going to stop. They know everything about Boko Haram. They are not just doing the people. They are citizens people. And that is just it. They know everything about it. And that is just it. So that's my speech this morning.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. All right. He raised a very valid point and saying that the people there kind of know, just like what you were saying, they kind of have an idea of what's going on and who the people are. All right, thank you very much for your call. Thank you, caller. All right. Right. So you say even the people in the positions of authority know who these Boko Haram people are. Why is it this difficult to defeat them?
It's a complex situation. Then I need to crave the indulgence of the general public. Sometimes they say there are some insinuations across board, whereby we say, oh, these people do this and that. They should be mindful of the fact that military, we are conventional forces. Army, Navy, Air Force. We are conventional forces, and Nigeria as a country subscribes to so many conventions and additional protocols. And the way Boko Haram, somebody picking up arms against you, the way he behaves, the way he look at issues, you can't compare it to the way the military will look at issues. We look at issues, we evaluate situations, and work out the possible ways of getting at it. On the other side of the divide, that was not in their own dictionary. They don't have any consideration for such. So, looking at that, you discover that is a complex situation. When you look at the way, now remember, in the course of my service, my duty tour in the theater there, in the course of my duty tour in theater there, when they do the radicalization, and I discovered that most of us in this country, what you don't know, you don't know.
Right, so let's not dwell too long on rejoin us and get back so that we can pick as much of your brain as we can. You are trying to tell us, you know, ways and means that would be very effective to do this humanitarian change.
Yes, it's part of what I'm...
Okay, let's go to that part.
I like...
Because the call line is buzzing, seriously.
I like giving background.
Yeah, I appreciate your background, but we have less time.
Yes, if you don't give background, you will not be able to consolidate.
Yes, you are right, sir. Very right.
When you are talking about this, so most of all these guys you see in the Boko Haram, most of them, when you look at some of them, they are not originally part of them.
Right.
What they do, when they attack, they look for everybody's young boys and coerce them.
Or entice them.
What do they entice them with?
7,000 naira. We interviewed some. It says 7,000 naira.
Even I remember I was watching a program. Somebody who happens to be a journalist was saying that they were giving them dollars. From where?
Yours is as good as mine, sir. Well, we have another caller on the line. Let's hear what a caller has to say. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
You have to be audible. Please speak up. You got to speak up. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Right. Okay. Morning.
Yeah. My name is Raimi from Abuja.
Raimi, go ahead.
Thank you. Quickly, I want to touch the political scenario in Nigeria.
Political scenario. We're talking about escalating insecurity today.
Yes, part of it.
Okay. Please go to that part.
The political confusion bred this insecurity.
Right.
So, if you look at the whole thing happening, it started from insincerity of community, then to the leadership, either from the community level to political level.
Okay.
Yes. You look around the entire part of Nigeria today, if we truly want to be sincere with ourselves, just like the speeches I have listened to from some sincere senators who happen to become sincere now, because at the point when they're supposed to speak, they didn't speak.
I feel you.
Now that the thing is getting to their doorstep, everybody is crying and shouting.
I feel you.
Now, if you look at the whole game playing out, it all started with the fact that we were not sincere with ourselves. When this thing started little by little, the communities were crying. But the people who were seeking to use the opportunity to get to office, they keep shutting them down. To be sincere with you, I listened to the sitting governor of Benue State, I think 3 weeks ago, and he was crying on live TV broadcast, saying that he has only 2 armor tanks in the entire state. Only 2 armor tanks in Benue State with all this crisis. Then you begin to ask yourself, this is a governor that is in the same party with the president. Will you say there is no connection from the center? How come he's having only 2 armor tanks in the entire state to secure the entire people of Benue State? What about other states? To cut the whole thing short, because we all know these stories, to cut the whole thing short, until we begin to speak the truth, without thinking of which one favors us and which one doesn't favor us, facing the reality and dealing with the issue the right way, we will continue in this mess.
Thank you, Raimi. You have made such valid points. We appreciate your take. Thank you for calling. And like you know, well, you can see who did that. You turn down the volume on your television set, or you walk away from it and you speak up, and you'll be live and you'll be audible. Thank you very much. All right, back to our general. Oh my goodness, like I said, the phone lines are buzzing. Who called and he'll talk because he came in here to talk to us. All right, let's have your take.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, please, Galadima from Badagry.
Galadima.
From Badagry.
Right, you're welcome.
My contribution is that I would like us to go back to the issue of parents on security. The children we have today are not properly monitored. They are gamblers. They talk of quick money. so they can be easily be loyal to all insecurities. And I want to tell you from my experience in Northeast that the issue of religion, the issue of tribe is number one problem we have in Nigeria. If you look at the picture of some of these boys coming from Nigeria, because of language and religion, they will see something white, they turn it to be black, just as General mentioned. So we must tell our ground to maintain the truth and tell ourselves the blunt truth.
Right. Thank you very much. Let's maintain our ground.
From anybody, there is no mean that it's not said by your God.
Yeah, thank you very much for your take. So, he's also saying the same thing. In fact, if he's even, our general here was saying that we, the community people, we are all involved. He's taken it right down to families, the parents, and that is so true. Because you remember, can you vividly remember this news story about this lady, even her name I remember, Cynthia Sugo, who was even a major in the army's daughter, lied to her parents. They were like, where are you going? And she said, oh, I'm going over to Lagos to, to meet these people who are going to teach me about this certain business, because she was a fresh graduate, I think, just before youth service. Deceived her parents, they wouldn't hide your phone, you privatize your phone. Meanwhile, you're chatting, you remember, chatting with somebody you've never met in life, who now told her, come over to this hotel.
When that free night call, everything.
This night call, they hide from their parents. You know the rest. Yeah. She went in and they just slaughtered her. It was her. Butchered her. Yeah, she was cut into pieces. This is what we're talking about. You have to open up. You need to be security conscious. Children get security conscious. Adolescents, teenagers get security conscious. Like a caller said earlier, parents, imbibe spirit of security consciousness in your children. Let's hear from this caller. Good morning.
Only a few days.
Good morning. The lines are very, very, very busy buzzing. So your name, where you're calling from, your point. 60 seconds. Go ahead.
My name is Clement from Jos.
Clement from Jos, go ahead. How is Jos today? How is Plateau? Hope we're not killing people today again. We lost him. Hey, I hope he's safe. Okay, do well to call back. Those are the numbers. The numbers are coming up on screen. Yeah, those are the numbers. So do well to call us back. General, whoa, the lines are even struggling with us in the studio. Okay, so let's just try and take this one. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Right, your name, where you're calling from, your point. 60 seconds.
Alex from Kogi.
Tale? Alex from Kogi, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, the stranger, the man with you there is one question I just wanted to ask.
Sorry, his General OLABODE, please don't say the stranger or the man. All right?
Yes.
Right.
Huh?
Address him as a general. He's a General OLABODE, please.
Okay. My general has permission to fall out.
that means you won't talk again.
Okay, please fall back in. He said he's good.
Okay, sir. It's one thing I wanted to know about the order being given to soldiers.
Yes.
Why I'm asking this question was that there's a kidnapping that happened in my area. It's not more than 6 electric pole to where soldiers go. They go with everybody in the bus. There's no any attempt. All they do is to go there and begin to snap. So I don't know. They will say that's the order from somewhere. I don't really understand the operation of army. I don't understand.
Yeah, we don't really get your question. We don't get your question at all. You said you saw some people picking what?
How, if a soldier was deployed to a place, how was the order? How give orders?
Who gives orders for soldiers' deployments to certain locations?
Maybe there's a kidnapping in a place.
Yes.
And there's a soldier very close by. Would they wait for any order from Abuja or Lagos before they attend?
All right, we'll answer your question now. Thank you very much for your take. So I think he's trying to wonder how people are deployed in situations of danger, like kidnapping. If I get him right.
Yes, just I think we paraphrase it and so that we'll be able to say something.
Yes, please. 60 seconds. Our time is winding down.
The issue is talking about people are deployed to man a post.
Right.
People on highway having a duty post on the highway. When you now said somebody is kidnapped, sometimes the information they pass, the public pass, are not even accurate.
Or even audible, or not even accurate, like the one we just had now.
When they get there, when they call, when they are saying we've been at the checkpoint, but what they will be telling you is entirely different from what soldier will not just leave that post because it could be another ways of deceiving. That's what we call deception. Maybe they have some people that have been earmarked to pass through the same route. They know that maybe because of the thorough checking measures put in place, they will now come and tell you a different thing entirely. And there are ways we must ask you questions to know that maybe establish the veracity of what we have come to.
Absolutely.
So these are point of the thing, some of the problems that likely that might have happened. Soldier will not just leave his duty post because you have come to tell them. Maybe they could not be able to establish that proof that actually this thing has happened. It could be a deception plan on the part of these perpetrators, telling you that they do this and that. Like what I said, we used to experience in the battlefield.
Right. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Hi, sir.
I'm Clement, calling from Jos.
Okay. 60 seconds. Thank you for calling back, Clement. Okay, I'll give you 120 seconds.
Okay, no problem. I'll just go straight to the point.
Thank you.
Just because this discussion is whether or not communities should take arms to defend themselves, right?
Yeah.
Now, my take on this matter is that the issue of insecurity has started as far back from places like Benin. It became at the peak around 2017 to 18. Till today, people are still dying. The case of Plateau State have been there for a very long time, and nothing has been happening. Government will always go when people are dead. They will go and make lots of promises. They say that they are going to fish out the perpetrators of this crime and all of that. Nothing has been happening. Now, my question is, should we now continue to die because there is a law that says government should be the one to protect its citizens? And even when government fails to carry out their mandate, should the communities continue to be under siege? Should people continue to die just because there is a law? I think laws are not meant for people, but people for the law. It is the people that will live for them to obey the laws. So if the people will die at the detriment of law, then I think the law does not make any impact to anybody. So for me, I am saying that everybody who has the ability or has a way he can defend himself, let them go and let him do it. Because you defend yourself or you die. And if you die, that is the end. So for me, everybody should defend himself. Thank you very much.
Clement, I feel you. I feel your pains. I know what you're talking about. We've had victims of the Bokos killing right here in the studio, and from their stories, which were also authenticated by a non-governmental organization, they were victims of unprovoked, unsolicited attacks. In fact, we interviewed them thoroughly. Does the community have any enemies? Some of the youths, in enmity with anybody? Totally unprovoked, and then the result was devastating. So I can feel your pain. Nobody came to this world to die. You're here, you're born to live. Then when you live out your complete lifespan, you go back from where you came. Not some other person coming over to decimate your life and you're sitting down looking. So I understand your pain. That's why we chose today's topic. As it is now, should citizens now be the ones to defend themselves? Because clearly nobody's defending them. Clearly. Like you rightly pointed out, it's painful today to be talking of Bokos killing that started as far back as March. And this is May. People are still being killed. As at last weekend, people were still being killed. And like you said, the killing is ongoing. What are Nigerian citizens supposed to do? Okay, well, we have a general in the house, but I really told you that this general is not just a general, he's a general with a heart. I told you his aspect, his calling was on the humanitarian aspect. So, let us turn our eyes a little bit away from trying to do tit for tat and an eye for an eye, and let's see how we can succor those victims, because he's had a lot of training on the humanitarian aspect here and abroad, hands-on training. So, sir, what can be done to succor these people, especially now psychologically? Their minds are now going, look, if nothing's going to happen, I might as well defend myself, you understand, which I think is a natural reaction.
Yes, it's easily said than done.
True.
But when people talk of defending yourself,
true,
picking up arms, how do you defend yourself? You have to pick up arms and other things. Was there any structure on ground to accommodate that? So how do we check the excesses or inadequacies? Those are questions I put up in my piece that we need to look into. The moment I hand over a gun to you, I'm your boss, Abi, and I'll give you a gun. The moment I hand it over to you, you now hold on to the butt and the trigger, everything is on your side. You are my boss.
Absolutely. You are at my mercy.
You are my boss. So these are the critical things. You know, the way we look at it, yes, it's very pathetic. But we must deploy what they call critical thinking and emotional thinking.
Critical thinking and emotional intelligence. We've got to deploy those. Right.
So when you look at your emotional quotient,
IQ,
EQ, determines how responsive you could be to issues when it happens. When you are adhering strictly to that,
yes,
you know that the way that you respond to issues will not be as hurriedly done compared to some other people.
Yeah, very emotional.
In terms of staying back, the issue has a way of retracing its steps and now resolve itself to the admiration of everybody. So you must look at plausible ways of getting things done. Okay. Don't look at the anger.
Yes. Right. Hakeem.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, Hakeem, calling from Lagos.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Good morning, Kaftan TV. And good morning to the general himself.
He's hearing.
You are welcome, Hakeem. Kimo.
All right, sir. I just have, I don't know whether it is question or I just want to describe something, because I had the general space that part of the issue that is hindering the security aspect in this country.
Come, let me, Hakeem, I'll cut you right there. Hakeem, you people are doing discrimination against me. I'm the one to ask the questions. General has been firing me with questions, not me firing him. Okay, now you want to ask me.
Okay, sorry. I'm not asking the question.
Okay.
I'm asking the question.
Okay.
Let me just make my statement.
Okay.
Let me make my statement. Anyway, okay. I had him say, no problem. I had him say that, the signing of different international agreements and any other things like that could be hindering their effectiveness, if I get it right, that effectiveness of the security. You understand? Because the security ought to be brutal to these insurgency and terrorism. But you see that sometimes they are not able to do what they are supposed to do, probably maybe because of those agreement or signing of international whatever that he made, if I get it right. But what I want to say here is this. I'm so sorry, and I don't mean to mention it, and I'm not saying it's a good example. I'm making reference to Burkina Faso, and I'm making reference to Ibrahim Traore. Even though the international, the West, and they don't like him, they want to kill him or whatever, but you can see how he managed to fight this insurgency because there are no ignorance. Now, this is democracy. How do you expect Tinubu? Because there are so many things it has to be agreed for him to understand. So I don't know how we're going to do it, because I am suspecting these Westerners, I'm so sorry, You understand? And collaboration with our citizens as well. Because for God's sake, over 10 years, we've been suffering from this thing. I trust Nigerian army. If there are no such kind of hindrance,
all right, Hakim.
I beg you, if we take us up to 3 months, everything will be clear.
Right, Hakim.
So our leaders sit down and fine-tune the best way. Thank you. Let me not take much of your time.
Hakim, thank you very much. I want to tell you, never you apologize for your opinion. This is the People's Station, and you are entitled to your opinion. We want to know what you want to say. All right? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Hakim will be our last caller today. We are totally out of time. So we are very privileged to have in the studio this morning General OLABODE, retired, and he's going to give a last word to Nigerians. Listen, he's an author, he's a thinker, he is, like I said, a general with a heart, not a general with a gun. So, not just a general with a gun. So let's have your last word to Nigerians, sir, and I will need you to come back.
No problem, we're going to come.
All right.
Let me just quickly mention something regarding what Hakim raised.
All right.
On a light term. The problem we have is because we don't look at issues the way it's supposed to be. That's why I said at the initial point of our takeoff that let us, when I said that if you don't know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, when you consider that, we will look at how things, the place we are fighting, it's not only Boko Haram that inhabit the place. So our people are still there. So with that, what I would just suggest to us as Nigerians is let us appreciate our environment and understand our environment better. That is what ecosystem is all about. When you talk, what is your relationship with your environment? Your environment constitutes your neighbors and everybody, all whatnot, and the critical infrastructure of the government. Please don't wait till when the thing touches you before you help those that are in need of help. It is high time we behave as if one family and always be ready to be our brother's keeper.
Right. My goodness. Oh, well, couldn't have been spoken better. Thank you very much, General, for honoring our invitation. We see you everywhere. We're happy to see you here today live. And I'm sure you'll honor our invitation to please come again in the midst of your busy schedule. I know you travel all around the country giving these same lectures. Thank you for lecturing us today, like you said.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Nigeria, for listening to us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Those of you who called, I mightn't be able to run down your names. Time has completely failed me. We appreciate your take. Thank you very much, those of you behind the scene, starting very, particularly with Mr. Davila. Thank you very much. My name's MIKKY, ATTAH. Like we've learned today, that attitude we have of, well, inokwasani, this is where it has landed us. Starting from where you are and right up to the government. You say, well, it concerns the poor ones in the villages, in the rural communities. Let me just get all these soldiers and DSS people around to protect my house, my villa, my wife, my children. We have to stop that attitude, be our brother's keeper, and work towards unity. Also, like the General said, watch out for the inequalities. Let's look for the causes, not just keep going after let's not make our solutions bandaging the problem, whereas the problem is still going on underneath. General, thank you very much for your words of wisdom. We appreciate you this morning. All right, I'm MIKKY, ATTAH. Thank you for your time. You can see it was very well invested. Okay, that's the press this morning. I'll be back on Friday morning, but in the meantime, our programming continues for today. So please stay on with Kaftan Television. We are the People's Station. We're here for you. God bless you. Have a beautiful midweek morning. Bye-bye.